Beatrice and Eugenie have both quietly left the UK. Amid Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson drama, welcome back, royal watchers, to Crown Chronicles, your go-to destination for every twist, secret, and royal revelation from behind palace gates. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because today's story is sending shockwaves through the British monarchy. Two of the most beloved members of the royal family, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, have reportedly left the United Kingdom. Yes, you heard that right. The daughters of Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson have quietly packed their bags and slipped away amid growing tension, family drama, and increasing pressure surrounding their scandal-shadowed parents. This isn't just a short holiday or royal engagement abroad, sources claim it's something far more serious. Behind the smiles and perfectly curated photos, the York sisters have apparently decided they've had enough of the chaos surrounding their family, and they're seeking refuge far from the turmoil engulfing their parents. But what drove them to this decision? What's happening inside the York household that pushed two royal princesses to quietly disappear from the UK? Let's unravel this royal mystery. For months, whispers around Royal Lodge, the Windsor estate where Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson still live together, have been growing louder. The couple, divorced for decades yet still sharing a home, have always been seen as an unconventional pair, managing to remain close despite years of scandals. But lately, insiders claim the atmosphere inside Royal Lodge has turned tense, even volatile. Financial disputes, mounting media attention, and a flurry of uncomfortable royal headlines have reportedly turned the once grand home into a palace under pressure. Prince Andrew's ongoing controversies have continued to cast a long shadow over the entire family. Despite his efforts to live quietly and avoid public appearances, the Duke of York's reputation remains deeply tarnished. Meanwhile, Sarah Ferguson, affectionately known as Fergie, has found herself back in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. After a recent fiery interview where she stormed off set when asked about her past scandals, the incident reignited public debate about her and Andrew's legacy, dragging Beatrice and Eugenie's names into the mix once again. According to royal insiders, that was the breaking point. The sisters, who have long stood by their parents with unwavering loyalty, were reportedly devastated by how their family continues to dominate headlines for scandals rather than achievements. One palace insider revealed, Beatrice and Eugenie are extremely close to their parents, but they've reached a point where the constant drama has become too much. They love them, but they need space, emotionally and physically. Princess Eugenie, who has always been seen as the more outspoken and independent of the two, was the first to make a move. She and her husband, Jack Brooksbank, recently spent increasing time abroad due to Jack's business interests, splitting their time between London and Portugal. But sources now say Eugenie has decided to make her stay overseas open-ended. She's reportedly focusing on raising her two young sons away from the relentless royal spotlight and the controversies swirling around her family. Princess Beatrice, on the other hand, has always been more cautious, more reserved, the steady one. Married to Edoardo Mapelli Mazzi, a successful property developer with international connections, Beatrice has quietly followed suit. Insiders say she and Edoardo recently relocated for what was described as extended travel and business opportunities abroad. But royal watchers have noticed something telling. Beatrice hasn't been spotted at any royal events or London functions in recent weeks, and her social appearances have all but vanished. One royal correspondent noted, "What's striking is how quietly this all happened. No announcements, no photos, no leaks, just a subtle retreat. It feels deliberate, almost like a coordinated move by the sisters to distance themselves from the chaos at home." If that's true, it wouldn't be the first time Beatrice and Eugenie have stepped back to protect their peace. Both women have spent their adult lives trying to carve out normalcy while carrying royal titles without the full privileges or protections that come with being working royals. They've faced public ridicule, unfair comparisons to senior royals, and constant questions about their relevance. Now, with the renewed scrutiny surrounding their parents, it seems they've had enough. Behind the scenes, there are also whispers of growing frustration with how the royal institution has handled the York family's image. While the late Queen Elizabeth II had always shown affection for her granddaughters, that protective shield has weakened under King Charles III's reign. Some insiders believe the king has made it clear that there will be no public return for Prince Andrew, a move that has inevitably isolated the Yorks from the rest of the royal family. For Beatrice and Eugenie, that may have been the final nudge toward independence. Meanwhile, Sarah Ferguson is said to be heartbroken by her daughter's decision to leave. Despite her strong public front, friends say she feels a deep sense of guilt, believing her fiery interview and the surrounding backlash pushed them further away. She never wanted to be the reason they'd go, one source shared. Fergie has always been fiercely protective of her girls. But she also knows they need to live their own lives, free from her past mistakes and their father's troubles. What's particularly fascinating is how this quiet exodus mirrors a growing trend among younger royals across Europe. From Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's move to California, to Prince Joachim of Denmark's children stepping away from royal duties, the next generation of royals is redefining what it means to live under the crown. For Beatrice and Eugenie, it appears their version of royal duty is to protect their family by stepping away from it. Still, not everyone sees this move as purely personal. Some royal commentators believe the sisters' decision to leave the UK could have lasting implications for the monarchy's image. With the York family already on shaky ground, their absence only deepens the divide between the king's inner circle and those left on the periphery. It also raises questions about whether Beatrice and Eugenie will ever return to royal life, or if this is the beginning of a permanent royal retreat. Public reaction to the news has been mixed. Many sympathize with the sisters, seeing their quiet departure as an act of self-preservation rather than rebellion. They've been through so much because of their parents, one fan commented online. If I were them, I'd do the same, start fresh somewhere new. Others, however, argue that abandoning the UK during such a tumultuous time makes them appear detached from royal responsibilities. The monarchy needs unity, one critic wrote. Their disappearance sends the opposite message. Either way, the York sisters' exit has once again turned the spotlight back on the deep cracks within the royal family. The image of unity projected after Queen Elizabeth II passing now seems more fragile than ever. Between Prince Harry's estrangement, Andrew's disgrace, and the York sisters' quiet withdrawal, it's clear that the House of Windsor is struggling to keep its royal foundation intact. As for Beatrice and Eugenie, perhaps this is their moment of liberation, a chance to live freely, raise their children away from the paparazzi's flash, and escape the ghosts of scandal that have long haunted their family. And while royal insiders insist they'll always remain loyal to the crown, one can't help but wonder if the next time we see them, it might be not in Windsor or London, but somewhere far away, living a life on their own royal terms. So what do you think, royal watchers? Have Beatrice and Eugenie made the right choice to leave the UK, or does their quiet exit signal deeper trouble within the monarchy? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget, this is Crown Chronicles, where every royal whisper meets the truth behind the tiara. Subscribe, stay curious, and join us next time for more of the stories the palace wishes would stay hidden. Crown.